So good evening all. After the dapagliflozin come to the market with a less and cost-effective price, the role of pharmacoeconomics means in diabetes in India has come up. So cost-effective age of dapagliflozin and my parts, most of the 50% of the part already said by Dr. Abhay, where he had explained the role of dapagliflozin, how is it beneficial in the management of type 2 diabetes, and how it is comparable with the Indian's demogliflozin. So dapagliflozin is little bit of more superiority in term of data, in term of effectiveness, in term of the outcome, in term of cardiovascular outcome trial. So when the cost effectiveness is an issue, we also know the ADA 2019 and 2020 guidelines also. When we individualize a patient, the cost effectiveness is a concern while treating a group of type 2 diabetes patient. So the pharmacoeconomics gives us idea about the treatment of any case where the low cost medicine is required for the prolonged period of time, which will improve the compliance of the patient and also increase the adherence to the molecule by the patient. So this is a picture where the pharmaceutical company came up with a pill that cures everything, but I am warning you, it's gonna to be expensive. So it is here to decide which molecule is better for our patient and what is the cost of the molecule to give the same outcome. If two molecules with the huge cost differences are there and come up with the same outcome, it is us to decide which molecule to prescribe to our patient to get the maximum benefit. So when we come to India, which is come out to be a diabetes capital, and in 2020 or 2050, must be crossing China in the prevalence of diabetes. So management of diabetes in India is a major issue, and cost of treatment in India we have to take care because it increase the adherence, with increase the effectiveness of the molecule if the molecule will be prescribed for a prolonged time. So in India, the annual expenditure by the patient on a diabetes care is an average of 10,000 in urban area and 6,000 rupees in rural area. And this also found in several studies that lower income groups spend a larger proportion of their income on diabetes care. And urban population spends more in absolute term and also in their complications. And 89% of the patients use their household income to fund the monitoring and treatment of their diabetes. So we have to take care while prescribing, especially drug therapy to our patient to decrease the pill burden and to decrease the cost of the therapy. When you see the state-wise in India, the per capita GDP and the prevalence of diabetes, the Bihar, Meghalaya, from Chandigarh, Tamil Nadu, and Delhi, the number of per capita GDP increase, the prevalence of diabetes is also increasing. That means the prevalence of diabetes is more toward the urban area and more toward the high GDP state. And the maximum number of diabetes care cascade in India, if you diagnose 100% diabetic, 50% are aware about the disease and 50% are not aware what is diabetes is. In the awareness group, if you treat the patients, only 42% receive treatment, 58% not. And in the same group also, sugar is controlled in only 25% and uncontrolled in 75%. So a lot of causes are postulated why the people are not controlled even after the treatment, maybe because of the cost of the therapy, the compliance and adherence to the molecule is poor. And because of the cost of the comorbid condition, the compliances are also poor. So we have to take care of the cost of the therapy part while treating a patient with type 2 diabetes or any form of chronic disease in day-to-day practice. So the diabetes related attitude and the practice in India, if you see the frequency of distribution of attitude toward management of diabetes, doctor reported diabetes only 30%, 70% are still now unrecognized. Insulin intake, 70% didn't take insulin or do not wish to take insulin. Here it is a good part that diabetes pill intakes are much more. Home test awareness is 50% and blood glucose home test are only 8% of the patients are doing. 92% of the patients are not doing. And in a diabetes costly disease in India, if you study, the average expenditure per patient per year would be around 4,500. So if you think in a country like India where 8 crore diabetic patients are there, on an average of 8 lakh rupees they will spend in a 20-year time of treatment of diabetes. So where the cost come from? Either it is the medical cost or the comorbid association complication cost or the non-medical cost. What are the medical cost? It is the anti-diabetic molecule, the laboratory cost, or the cost of the physician and nurses. Comorbid condition, it is the micro and macrovascular complication or any emergency leads to hospitalization. Non-medical cost are the cost of transportation, work loss day, cost experienced by caregiver during the hospitalization. So in India, a study where they found that the anti-diabetic agent cost around 86% of their total cost, followed by the laboratory charges, followed by the physician charges. So almost all the cost spent for the diabetes management are the anti-diabetic agent. So if it is possible to give a cost-effective molecule with the same outcome in terms of cardiovascular safety, in terms of renal safety, in terms of hospitalization for heart safety, or any other or the durability of the, if the cost-effective molecule is there, then definitely a patient will get the benefit and the adherence and compliance will be more. Here you see in a study where the evaluation of pharmacoeconomics direct cost in diabetic patients, it is the comorbid condition like retinopathy, nephropathy, and neuropathy, most commonly the neuropathy, and the cost, total cost in isolated diabetes mellitus associated with peripheral neuropathy and other comorbid condition. So more the number of comorbid condition, more is the cost expenditure for the patient to manage the comorbid condition and glycemia. In 2016, the annual cost of illness of diabetes care per patient, if you see diabetes without complication, with complication, with dialysis, and with cardiac intervention, the cost has drastically increased in diabetes without complication of 22,000 per year to around 1,66,000 those who have complications with cardiac event. In 2017, also the cost has increased much. Direct cost, which include the cost of dialysis, cost of medication, cost of investigation, AV fistula charges, indirect cost for cost of lost wages, cost of transportation. In all, there is a increase on an average of 24,000, and the number of dialysis required are 7.27 per month, and number of drugs per day is around 7 to 8 number of drugs patients are taking according to the study in the St. John's, Bangalore. So why the cost is important for our patient? Because out of pocket expense, no insurance protection is there and no insurance penetration in our society. Maximum number of patients coming from the rural India, so they are not aware. They are poor farmer and laborer, and high cost leads to the poor medical adherence, as I have told earlier. So in Diabetes Care India, Dr. Joshi et al. Also published that considering the high cost incurred at various steps of screening, diagnosis, monitoring, and management, it is important to realize the cost-effective measure of diabetes care that are necessary to implement, because these are the disease which are the chronic disease which require lifelong treatment, and cost-effective therapy definitely increase the adherence and compliance to the molecule, and we have to take care of the outcome of the molecule. Not only the cost is an issue, but the effectiveness, the safety profile, and all should be taken care with low cost, definitely gives a good outcome in the management of type 2 diabetes. So as we are discussing, we all know the benefit of SGLT2 inhibitor in last 2 to 3 years, how the cardiovascular outcome trial, both in diabetic and non-diabetic cases, how it will give benefit. And already Dr. Sahu has explained the role of this SGLT2 inhibitor by saying about the different landmark trial associated with dapagliflozin. So we know the dapagliflozin definitely gives the glycemic benefit with weight loss, reduce hospitalization for heart failure and CV death, 3-point MACE with CVD and severe risk factor is reduced, and shows renal protection. So value of event of one hospitalization for heart failure, one myocardial infarction, and one stroke is definitely gives a better outcome. So when you compare this dapagliflozin, which is now available in India with a low cost compared to the innovator, because we are not only concerned about the cost of the molecule, we are also concerned about the outcome of the molecule. If the molecule is low cost but is not effective or has some side effects, it is not beneficial to our patient. So if you compare the cost of the dapagliflozin compared to the innovator, the cost is around 15 rupees per tablet compared to 56 rupees per tablet, that is the innovator brand. Per month, it is costing around 450 rupees compared to 1600. And per year cost is around 5,000 rupees compared to 20,000. So a patient is going to save around 15,000 rupees per annum with this low cost dapagliflozin. And this cost effectiveness analysis, it not only analyze the money part, but also analyze the effectiveness, as I have told. It reduce the blood sugar level and cost effective and most commonly applied form of economic analysis in the literature, especially in the drug therapy. Already the dapagliflozin and remogliflozin compared with compared by the Dr. Sahu in terms of its efficacy, in terms of its safety profile, in terms of its cost, in terms of the frequency of giving this molecule. But when to come to the cost, now pharmaceuticals companies are also saying remogliflozin is low cost. When you compare the existing dapagliflozin, the cost per tablet is around 15 rupees, remogliflozin is 25 rupees. Again, over a period of 6 months, patients are going to save around 1,000 rupees. Decrease in fasting plasma glucose is more with dapagliflozin. Decrease in HbA1c is almost more with the dapagliflozin R. And when you see the decrease in weight, decrease in blood pressure, all are little bit of higher with the dapagliflozin R, along with the less cost, along with the more evidences are available for the dapagliflozin. So as I have earlier also said, the benefit we are planning for our patient is not only based on the cost of the therapy, but quality adjusted life here is also important, and quality of the molecule, outcome of the molecule, we have to take care by selecting the molecule. So cost is J part in pharmacoeconomics and value of pharmaceuticals like quality adjusted life here. So both are balanced to give a pharmacoeconomics molecule to our patient with low cost, with maximum benefit to utilize the limited resources, whatever available in our country. So this is the pharmacoeconomics where cost is in a part and the efficacy, medical outcome and the complication in a part. So we have to balance both the arm to give the maximum benefit to our patient with the limited resources. So the cost utility analysis, if you see in terms of the renal event, myocardial infarction or stroke, heart failure event, quality of life of hospitalization or life year, here the period of clinical trial, the probability of survival is there. Estimate over a period of exceeding the clinical trial and efficacy and safety. So when you compare the dapagliflozin over the remogliflozin, even though the cost is little bit higher with the remogliflozin, but strong evidences are there available with the dapagliflozin in terms of renal event, in terms of myocardial infarction, in terms of heart failure, in terms of quality of life for hospitalization and life failure. Excuse me. So as I have told, cost along with the strong evidence gives dapagliflozin at the upper end in terms of remogliflozin and other SGLT2 inhibitor available. So if I combine all the SGLT2 inhibitor along with the newer low cost dapagliflozin in terms of best cost effectiveness, best assured utility, when you see the cost effectiveness wise, again dapagliflozin is a little bit of superiority in terms of MOR. When the renal event is there, more data are available with the dapagliflozin. So best cost effectiveness and best assured utility is there with the dapagliflozin R. When you see the myocardial infarction and stroke rates, especially Dr. Sahu has also told those who have prior history of myocardial infarction, they are get maximum benefit with the dapagliflozin, and there is no cardiovascular outcome trial available with the remogliflozin. heart failure event, the cost and the best assured utility is there with the dapagliflozin arm. Quality of life is maintained with the low cost dapagliflozin. Life here is extended. And when you compare all the SGLT2 inhibitor which is available, that is the innovator Kana, EMPA, and DAPA, which comes as the low cost effectiveness because the cost is very high, so they have a best assured quality. So only the recent dapagliflozin with low cost, they have a best cost effectiveness, best assured utility, and I think this is the ideal drug for the mass drug treatment for all. So the take home message from my side for our country like India, the total annual expenditure by patient on diabetes care is very high and majorly funded by household income. So we have to take care of the cost. Economy of diabetes is controlled by direct and indirect cost. Direct cost is the medical cost, drug cost, and the healthcare cost. Indirect cost is the transportation cost, holiday cost, and the job loss cost. Significant glycemic control, weight loss, and cardiovascular benefit of SGLT2 inhibitor we already know, which makes this class as the most suitable drug of choice in management of type 2 diabetes. Dapagliflozin has shown upper edge in cost-effective analysis, cost minimization analysis, and cost utility analysis as compared to innovator and other SGLT2 inhibitors such as remagliflozin in the management of type 2 diabetes. So earlier also I said, we are not only seeing the cost of the molecule, we are also seeing the utility analysis, that is the effectiveness, outcome, and the same parameter in terms of cardiovascular, renal, myocardial infarction outcome. So if you combine low cost with the maximum outcome, definitely that will be the best molecule to prescribe in our day-to-day practice. Thank you for your patience here.